All right, everybody, Dr. Scott Keller again from Synergy Chiropractic here at CrossFit Lincoln today. Instead of my garage, thank goodness, a little better scenery, we're going to go over one more mobility exercise for the hip, all right? So last couple of weeks, we've been focusing on the front of the hip and then in the adductor area. A lot of good mobility. If you're struggling to get deep in your squat, or you just feel like you're having maybe some low back pain, some hip issues, these are all good mobility things to start doing on a daily basis. We're going over pretty simple stuff. We're keeping it pretty fundamental and foundational, which is for a reason. Some people tend to get a little too complicated in their mobility, and you just got to nail down these basics to begin with. So today's going to be a pretty easy one. We're going to do the pigeon stretch, or the pigeon pose, a lot of people know in yoga. And I'm going to have Mr. Zane come out and help me out on this one so I can kind of coach while he demos. So we're going to come right over here. So he's going to get in the pigeon position, all right? So today we're working on the posterior side of our hip. Now in a squat, if we are tight in the posterior hip and we can't get through the posterior hip, we're going to do 1 or 2, 3 things. Actually, go ahead and stand up for me. Let me show these first. I should have done that first. So neutral position in the pelvis and the low back. Go ahead and give me a full back squat and see how he does. So you notice he can get through the back of his hip. His lumbar spine stays pretty neutral here. I'll come back up. And the first mistake a lot of people do at the bottom of the squats, go ahead and go down and roll that pelvis under you, is you'll see this lumbar flexion at the very bottom of the squat, okay? So it's like their pelvis rolls underneath of them. And then the third mistake with bad posterior hip flexibility is as he goes down, he can't get through the back of his hip, so he's going to lean forward. Really hard on the lower back, obviously. So we have correct form, we have the butt wink like this, we have the flattened spine angle. Okay, so this is going to help correct some of those things. Go ahead and get in the pigeon position. We're going to do 3 different things with this pigeon stretch today. The first one is Zane is going to try to push this right butt cheek towards the floor. So he's just going to sit straight back. And he's going to feel that as deep as he can, go as low as he can without causing pain. He's going to hold for 2 or 3 seconds, then rise out of it. Okay, so once again, I like dynamic stretches. He's just going to sink in, feel that nice stretch, and then come out. He's going to repeat that 10 times, okay? Position number 2 is going to be the same thing. He's going to sink backwards, but now he's going to push this right hip laterally to the same side. So go ahead and show him that. And you can give a little bit of a lead if you want. Try not to move too much through the spine. You want all the mobility to come through the hip. So come up, back up out of it. He's going to sit straight back, and then push his hips down to the right in this instance, okay? Once again, repeat that 10 times and you'll be good to go. The third thing, we're going to change his front leg a little bit. He's going to bring his foot up. Okay, so his knee is more at a 90-degree angle as opposed to being bent at a 45-degree angle. Now what he's going to do is he's going to take his opposite hip, so his left hip, and try to rotate it and push it towards his left or his right heel. Okay? Why don't you face the camera on this one? Alright, so the difference between the first couple you have your leg at 45, this one, you're going to bring your leg up at 90. As long as it's not hurting the knee, be sure you're not hurting yourself here. You're going to feel pretty tight in that right hip already. Now he's going to take this hip here and try to go forward into that front leg, basically heel, alright? So once again, hold that for a few seconds, come out of it, and then repeat just like that. Alright? So that's a wrap on the pigeon pose or the pigeon stretch, all right, guys? So once again, nice and slow and controlled with all the stretches you do in that dynamic nature, but you should get a pretty good release back here in that deep glute area, which should help you deepen your squat, all right? That's a wrap for today. Thanks.
Sorry, I'm kind of